Life is hard in South Sudan. War, hunger, injustice, corruption, all conspire to make life impossible. Yet the daily courage of farmers to plant their fields and mothers to feed their children reveals the will of ordinary people to struggle, not just for their own survival, but for the well-being of their communities. The world witnessed that courage during South Sudan's long struggle for independence, and it also witnessed how the church remained stubbornly present, accompanying the people with pastoral care and prophetic leadership in difficult times. With eventual independence, the church remained at the people's side, but new occasions taught new duties, and church leaders realized that they had a unique opportunity to help form a new generation of leaders for a new country. For that, they needed help. And in 2005, the same year as a peace treaty brought an official end to war, the nascent country's bishops appealed to the Universal Church to come to South Sudan and lend a hand. From that initial appeal came what we today know as Solidarity with South Sudan, a prophetic community of Jesus' disciples living and working in solidarity with the people of South Sudan. At the invitation of the bishops and in partnership with them, Solidarity seeks to collaborate in building God's reign in South Sudan, particularly in the formation and training of teachers, healthcare workers, and pastoral agents. As Solidarity builds the capacity of the people, its members hope to reveal God's love, compassion, and enduring faithfulness toward all. Illiteracy undermines democracy, and only 27% of adults in South Sudan can read and write. From the beginning, Solidarity has sought to assist current teachers to upgrade their skills, particularly the use of English in the classroom. Solidarity also established distance learning programs, providing multi-year in-service programs in places like Leer, Nzara, Gumbo, Rumek, Maban, and Ogok, as well as the delivery of shorter in-service training in several other places. In 2012, Solidarity began training teachers in full-time pre-service programs at campuses it constructed in Yambio and Malakal. The Malakal experience was short-lived, as the teaching college and Solidarity residents were looted and damaged when renewed conflict broke out at the end of 2013. As a result, the Solidarity Teacher Training College in Yambio expanded its programming, bringing learners from all over South Sudan, as well as students from the conflicted border region of Abyei and the embattled Nuba Mountains in Sudan. By helping to professionalize the practice of teaching, Solidarity has also helped to foster respect and appreciation for the men and women who educate the region's children.
We can say 5 pence plus 5 pence is equal? 10. Very good. Then 1 plus 2. Hussein. Hussein. 1 plus 2. Yes, Hussein. Very good. 1 plus 2.
10.
1. 1 plus 2.
3.
Very good.
7 letter, 8 letter, 9 letter fingers.
10 little fingers hold my hands.
10 letter fingers hold my hands.
10 little fingers hold my hands.
Today, graduates of the Solidarity Program are transforming young lives in villages and towns throughout the region.
Letter C, letter fingers.
7 little 8 little 9 little fingers.
7 letter, 8 letter, 9 letter fingers.
10 little fingers hold my hands.
10 letter fingers hold my hands.
10 little fingers hold my hands.
10 letter fingers hold my hands.
South Sudan has the highest maternal mortality in the world. Along with other key health indicators, that reflects an environment where basic health education and treatment have been missing for many years. At the request of the bishops, Solidarity took over and renovated the Catholic Health Training Institute in Wau, welcoming nursing students in 2010 and midwifery students in 2012, both enrolled in diploma-level courses whose curriculum is approved by the government's health ministry. Taking advantage of both government and church-run health facilities in Wau to gain their required practical experience, the 3-year programs have now graduated nurses and midwives who have returned to their home communities to help people experience the fullness of life as promised in the Gospels. A third element of Solidarity's work during the past decade has been helping the Church to revitalize its ministries by training catechists and pastoral agents throughout the country. In coordination with the Church's national leadership and diocesan-level pastoral coordinators, workshops take place both at the Good Shepherd Peace Center in Kit as well as in towns and villages across the land. Of renewed importance with the breakdown of civil society and the increase of political and ethnic violence, Solidarity's pastoral team helps the Church work for biblically grounded justice, reconciliation, and peace. After years of conflict in many areas, there's a dramatic need for workshops and training on trauma healing for priests, religious, and laity. Training trainers in how to lead workshops for others in simple wellness practices has led to an extensive network of activists struggling for healing, wholeness, and peace, even in the midst of war. All of Solidarity's programs involve training in peace building and reconciliation. One priority is equipping priests with the skills to overcome ethnic and class tensions that contribute to violence in their parishes. And many of the initiatives that grow out of this programmatic focus intentionally encourage women to assume leadership as the primary protagonists for peace in their neighborhoods and communities. In Ribenze, Solidarity carries out pastoral work with the local parish that includes managing a health clinic, educating people about herbal medicine, as well as special activities for girls and income generation for women. The same team carries out educational and other programs in the Makpundo camp for refugees from the Congo. As civil war spread to all corners of South Sudan, Ribenze became a refuge for thousands of internally displaced people fleeing the unchecked violence of soldiers and rebels. Ribenze itself was not exempt from the violence, yet members of the Solidarity team there repeatedly put their own lives on the line to accompany their neighbors. As in Yambio and other places during these last years of chaos and war, Members of the Solidarity team have stood firm, despite threats, despite assaults, expressing at the risk of their own lives the same solidarity that Christ displayed for the poor as he was tortured and killed on the cross. In Malakal, where the destruction of the city by armed actors forced the closure of Solidarity's educational campus, this accompaniment has taken another form with the permanent presence of a Solidarity member in a section of the United Nations base filled with thousands of displaced civilians. These communities of displaced have become a common sight around the country. 1/3 of South Sudan's 12 million people are displaced, and they often see churches, rightly or wrongly, as a secure refuge. Solidarity personnel have provided financial resources and other support for the clergy and pastoral agents who provide the day-to-day accompaniment of these survivors of the conflict. Several non-governmental organizations seeking to respond to South Sudan's humanitarian crisis, recognizing Solidarity's trustworthiness and close connection to grassroots communities, have appealed to Solidarity for assistance in targeting their response to the most needy. Solidarity initially established a farm in Rimense as a way to produce food for the college in nearby Yambio, but over the years it has expanded considerably and now serves as a regional hub for training in improved agricultural techniques. As displacement has kept families from planting and harvesting their own fields, it has become a critically important source of employment and food for thousands of people. At the same time, it imparts important knowledge and skills that they can implement on their own small farms when the security situation improves. On a smaller scale, a farm on the campus of the CHTI and WOW supplies vegetables and some grain crops for the Institute. The drilling of a well and the construction of a large water tank have permitted the development of extensive irrigation and the expansion of the project. While most members of Solidarity are religious from outside the country, the Solidarity family has grown quite large over the last decade. At any meal in a Solidarity house, you'll also find a cross-section of South Sudanese and foreigners, from bishops to aid workers to students to journalists. It's a sacred space to share information, reflect together on a common mission, and to keep up on the latest developments in football or cricket. It's a reminder that the extended Solidarity family includes many church workers from South Sudan and around the world. The gatherings around Solidarity's tables reflect an exciting model of religious life that shares resources and personnel in an innovative fashion, stepping over traditional boundaries between congregations and traditions to focus on how the Church Universal can work with passion and compassion to empower a local faith community. Particularly in a land so torn by ethnic and political tension, the collaboration and mutuality enfleshed by Solidarity during the last 10 years represent a model that grows the circle wide, recognizing that there are no limits to God's love. For the last decade, with support from faith communities around the world, Solidarity has accompanied and embraced a suffering people, offering a new model of selfless collaboration for the Church in mission.
Thank you.